Okay, we're starting. All right. So today, Yechave daat, and a lot of the holiday daat, Chelik Aleph. Although about the custom, Israel, all the Jews, this custom, they bring on the table for Rosh Hashanah all these different types of lefi and yanshim to him, and we say yiratzon, prayers, because of the name of the food, right? So lubia, the black eyed peas, or rubia, we say she'idbu zichriyotenu, because the word rubia has the word rob in it a lot. In Arabic, it's lubia, and so we have the word utlavevenu, right? Moshe, you say utlavevenu?
Lubia.
So the question is, Yossi, should you say the beracha first on the fruit? You want to have the apple, the date, let's say, the tamad. You say the beracha ha'etz first, the ahad kaf lumad yiratzon, and then yiratzon. That you see, tamu o yibenu. What's the order? Or the opposite. First yiratzon, the ahad kaf l'kat nehenin, and then the ha'etz. What's the proper?
I think we know from the Mahzor, we always do the yiratzon, and then we say the beracha.
That's why we have this halakha.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ready?
Yeah.
If it turns out the mahzor is wrong, the mahzor is wrong. Sorry. But there's a Vadia here.
No.
Let's see. Which mahzor is it?
All of them.
Let's see.
I have yet to find the Mahzor itself.
I have Yechave daat at home, so I can bring it and see what he says. Ready? Mikor haminhag. What is the whole source? Thank you. What is the whole source for this custom to start with? Where did this custom start from?
The custom of the beracha.
Turkish coffee? The custom to say these, to have these fruits on Rosh Hashanah. Where does this come from? Is it in the Gemara? What do you say? You think so? Where's this custom, Yossi? Someone made it up? It's actually in the Gemara.
Oh.
But not all 7 fruits. Abaye in the Gemara says 5. 5 of them. Which ones were added on afterwards? Trivia question. Which ones? We have
would say probably the lubia.
No.
They probably did the rimon, tamar.
No.
No?
You're usually on the ball, Moshe. The Gemara, Abaye says 5 of them. The ones he doesn't say is the apple and the honey. It's added on afterwards. And he doesn't say the pomegranate. It's also added on afterwards, believe it or not. The limon and the tapuach are added on afterwards. You can find those where? Manash Shulchan Aruch? Now you're afraid to answer. Where do you find? So I'm going to read the Gemara. Let's read the Gemara, okay? The Gemara is in 2 places. It's in Keditut 6. It's very easy to remember. Keditut page 6, Horayot page 12. Almost the exact same, so it's double, 612. Almost the exact same Gemara with one different word. One word is different. Gemara Horayot says, Le'olam ya'adam ragil lil'ot berosh Hashanah l'siman tov. You should see these fruits on Rosh Hashanah. See it. Doesn't say eat it. Abaye says this. Kera, rubia, karti, silka, temarim. Translation.
Kera, it's the squash. Silka, it's the beet.
Silit. Kera, rubia.
It's lubia.
The back of black eyed peas. Karti.
It's the daat. It's the
Gourd. The gourd. Silka, which is silit. Temarim. Dates. That's all the Gemara says. Abaya says you should see these fruits. Look at them for a siman tov. Why? Rashi says, Shehem gedolim yoter. They grow very fast. They're very fast growing fruits. So just like the fruits grow fast, so too our merits should grow fast. The siman tofu. It's a siman lil'otam b'Rosh Hashanah, to see them on Rosh Hashanah. This is the Gemara in Horayot. Same identical Gemara in Keditut, except they substitute one word. Instead of see, eat. It says you should eat these fruits. So one Gemara says you should see these fruits. One Gemara says you should eat these foods. What does Manash Shulchan Aruch hold? Halakha l'maaseh? Well, if you eat it, you're going to see it, I hope, right?
So eat it.
The answer is yes. Manash Hanuk, he holds eat. He says you should eat these foods. And then what? So we're missing the pomegranate and we're missing the apple. Manash Hanuk brings these things or what? Would you find it in Shulchan Aruch? Answer could be yes.
First.
No. Rama, Ashkenaz. The Rama brings it. Tafkuf Peg Gimel, I think. 500.
First source of the foods on the table.
Gemara.
Gemara.
Abaye in the Gemara. It's a Gemara that's talking about all sorts of simanim, good luck charms for all sorts of different things. And then at the end, he throws in Rosh Hashanah. He's like, once we're talking about good luck things.
You have to be careful with the expression for life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at his finger. I know. We're not talking about, God forbid, black magic or anything. It's Sigula. The simanim, which God willing, maybe in Yossi's house on Monday, I'll talk about simanim a tiny bit. It's for us, not for food. You internalize it. It's a good idea. It's for us. It's to awaken us. Okay, so we got it. So far, we didn't even get to the question yet, but you got a couple of very good knowledge points that you should know. This comes from the Gemara. One Gemara says eat it. One Gemara says see it. There's only 5 of them in the Gemara. No pomegranate, no apple. And these 2 things are added by the Rama. Now, I'm not saying that Sephardim don't add these. Kabbalists don't add these as well. Yechave talks about the apple, pomegranate. I'm just talking about Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so don't miss.
By the way, we eat already now, but my father's tradition, there were certain things that we did not eat.
Ripped it.
Yeah.
You actually ripped the decree.
You ripped the decree.
Wow.
So that was the ones that we firstly they had me.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, you don't eat them. But
I would like you don't eat the idja. You have idja?
now we eat everything. Once my wife started.
Let's get to the law. If it's Syrian food, you want to eat it. Trust me. Let's get to the halakha. So this is the source. Now, the Ukatav HaKol Bo Manash Haruch also says you say Yiratzon. For each food, there's a Yiratzon that's a twist on their name, basically, right? Every Yiratzon has something to do with the name of the food, right? Okay. The Chatav HaMagen Avraham. The Magen Avraham writes, if you read the Shulchan Aruch, I think it's Tafkuf Peg Gimel. Yeah, it is. If you read Shulchan Aruch, you see from his words, Lebarech Birkat Nehenin. First, you should make the blessing, ha'etz, first, and then take a bite, and then Ahal Kaf Lamadi Hiratzon. If you read the Shulchan Aruch, it seems from his words, the order is take the date. Which fruit should we do first? This is going to cause a whole war. What's the first thing we should eat?
I know we do tamar always.
The tamar should go before the apple.
We always do tamar.
Because the Ashkenazim, they put the apple first, and a lot of Sephardim also. But look at the pasuk. What are the 7 fruits of Israel? The apple's not one of the fruits of Israel. Right? Eres chitas orav gefen ut'ena v'rimon.
That, by the way, that's why I was sure that Rimon was part of it, because it's from
Amazing, right? Yechave says the rimon. Other people say the rimon. I just said manash Haruch.
No, in the Gemara you said
The Gemara doesn't say that.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so the date should be first. So the beracha and the date is ha'etz. And you also want to do the ha'etz before the ha'adama. Why? Well, it depends. If you're doing this before hamotzi, right? Some people do it after they get bread, after they make the bread. Some people do it before the bread. If you're going to do it before the bread, and you do the ha'etz first, you could still make ha'adama after. This comes into a whole separate thing. Very simple halakha. I have a watermelon in front of me, and I have a grape. One is ha'etz, one is ha'adama. If I make the beracha on the watermelon first, ha'adama, I can no longer bless on the grape, ha'etz. Because included in a tree is the ground. Right? So if I want to make 2 blessings, I would want to make the beracha on the grape first.
You lost the beracha.
Yeah. If you have multiple fruits in front of you and you want to maximize your blessings, you have to be smart. So take the ha'etz first, and then the ha'adama. If you do it reverse, you lose the ha'etz, okay?
That brings a whole new topic.
There's a whole new thing. Yeah, there's a whole new
If
thing.
a person took a fruit and by mistake did adama, does he
That's
need to
yotzeh.
correct and do
You're
ha'etz, or is he
No,
yotzeh?
it's very good. You're yotzeh because a tree grows on the ground. So included in ha'etz, ha'adama works for a fruit, basically. Okay, but no, let's not get sidetracked. So the Magen Avraham writes, from the words of Shulchan Aruch, it seems that this should be the order. Baruch atah Hashem on the date. Elokeinu melech ha'olam, borei pri ha'etz. Take a bite. Yiratzon she'itamu oyevenu, and all this. That's what it seems Magen Avraham writes from the Shulchan Aruch. Because what else are you supposed to do, he said? You're supposed to say, and then take a bite. You're going to say a prayer in between the blessing and the eating. You have to eat right after you say the blessing. We want to put a prayer in between. He doesn't even think to say the prayer beforehand. It's not even a question to say the prayer for the Magen Avraham, to say the prayer before the blessing. Am I with everybody with me here?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, even though even though some people say, you know what, you actually could do the yiratzon before you eat it. And then eat. Why do some people say that's okay? What's their proof that it's not a hefsek? It's okay to talk yiratzon after the blessing before the eating. Besovrim, that it's not a hefsek. Why? Like we have another halakha. This is an interesting halakha. שיכול לומר זה חליפתי, זה תמורתי, זה כפרתי, על הכפרות שעושים בערב יום הכיפורים בין ברכה לשחיטה, שנחשב סורך שחיטה. So wild halakha. We know we have the kaparot, right? You take the chicken or the money, זה כפרתי, זה תמורתי, זה, right? זה חליפתי. So there's a halakha, the tashbetz writes, I'm not saying this halakha l'maaseh, but they bring this tashbetz. Where does he write? If you're an actual shohet and you're going to slaughter this chicken right on the spot, you can say Baruch Atah Hashem, make the beracha for slaughtering it, then say Zeh halafati, and then slaughter it. It's an amazing thing. He says it's not a hefsek. I'm not sure there's halakha l'maaseh. And he decides not to go into this halakha. It's just a proof that they bring that supplications and prayers is not a hefsek between a blessing on the
according
food,
to their
according to this, and eating the food.
the Magen Avraham.
And so even though you would say, so Magen Avraham says, even though you might bring this as a proof, that you should do the same thing for the date, make the berachah ha'et, say the yiratzon, and then eat the date, don't do that. Still. Mikum HaKom, he says, preferably, yesh le'echol kodem amilat yiratzon. First take a bite, and then ask Hashem for the sweet year and all that stuff. Okay. Next thing we're going to bring is the Zohar. The Zohar writes in Pashat Vahi, שבכל מקום צריך להקדים ולברך ולשבח את הקדוש ברוך הוא תחילה, ואחר כך לברך את חברו ולהעתיד בעדו. Why don't you say the Yiratzon before the blessing? That's the question. Yeah? Why don't you say the Yiratzon before the blessing? Yiratzon, שתתחדש לנו שנה טובה ומתוקה, ברוך אתה השם, ברוך יעש, and then blessing. Why don't you say, and then eat it? Why don't you say the Yiratzon first? The Zohar writes, you cannot ask for things or ask for something for a friend before you praise and thank Hashem. Hashem has to always go first. And so how could you ask for a great year because of this apple or date when you haven't even blessed and thanked Hashem for the date? So there's three options, right? Option one, blessing first, yiratzon second, eating third. Option two, reverse those. Yiratzon first, blessing, eat. Option three, blessing, eat, yiratzon. Are we lost or we're good? You can't say the blessing and then the yiratzon because you want to have the blessing connected to the eating. And says now the Zohar, you can't say the yiratzon first and then the blessing. How could you ask for a good year before you even bless for the fruit? What's the only other option? Blessing, eating, yiratzon. The only other option.
So the Zohar says that
the Zohar says you cannot ask for things. No, it doesn't say yiratzon. It's a Zohar in general. You cannot ask for things before you pray to Hashem. Hashem has to come first. If you have something for Hashem and something for you or a person, you have to offer Hashem his thanks first. But how could you say the yiratzon before the blessing? Yiratzon is for you. I want a good year. Hey, you didn't even bless me for the fruit yet. So according to the Zohar, Pashat Vahi, you would want to make sure, what's the proof? It brings the proof from Yaakov Avinu when he blessed his kids. He brings all his kids in to bless them, Pashat Vahi. And what does he say? First he says, thank you Hashem. Ha Elohim, Asher telechunu abotai lefanav, Avraham, Yitzhak. Ha Elohim, the God that took care of me from when I was a kid. And then he says, Hamalach hagoel oti mikora, yebarech et ha'ne'arim, ve'yikarev em shemi, v'shem otav Avraham Yitzhak, v'yitgul alot b'kiraba ares. First, he brings thanks to Hashem. Why did he bring his kids, Moshe? Why did Yaakov collect all the kids? to thank Hashem? No, he really wanted to bless his kids. But first, he blessed Hashem. And then he said, Hamalach HaGoel. So we learn from the Zohar that you cannot do the Yiratzon before, you should not do the Yiratzon before the blessing. The blessing on the fruit is going to come first.
It's stretch.
Okay? It's a stretch.
It's stretch because he's blessing them. It's a little different.
Another proof. Maybe the second proof you like. Who was the first Kohen in the Torah? Melchizedek was the first Kohen. It was taken away from him and given to the Jewish people, the Shevet Levi. What did he do wrong to lose the Kehuna? Exactly. Melchizedek, he should have kept the Kehuna forever. He messed up. When Abraham beat the war with Sodom, Melchizedek first blessed Abraham, and then he said, U Baruch El Elyon. And then he blessed the everlasting God. And we say from there, because of this, he lost the Kehuna. It was taken from him and given to Abraham. So therefore, another proof they bring, you cannot bless the person first. First, you bless Hashem. Is that one a better one?
No. No, because it's a completely different scenario. He's blessing Abraham, where in fact he has to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here we're asking, we're saying Yehi Ratzon. That by itself, it's a form of tequila.
I want you to give me a good year.
It's a form
and
of
rip up my enemies.
I'm not saying,
because of this wonderful juicy date that's sweet. And then I'm going to say thank you for the date. Who would do that? He doesn't like it.
Carry on.
Carry on.
It's not compatible.
Does it make sense to you? Okay, that's all I care about. Okay, let's go further. So too here. First, the blessing on the fruit should come, and then the yiratzon. Okay, next. It says over here in the Knesset HaGedolah, V'ra'iti leharav ha'gaon maharav Rabbi Eshtarok ben Shanji, sheyanoheg lebarech techila al hayayin v'lashtot me'at, ואחר כך היה אומר למסובים בשמחתכם. ומסיים שתייתו. What is it talking about here? So we say lechaim. When we have a drink, we say lechaim. There's an alternate version that people used to say, בשמחתכם, in your joyous times, right? And so what does this rabbi write? The Maharav Eshtalach ben Shanji, he says, when I pick up my wine and I want to make my, what is it called? Toast. I don't make the toast first. First, I make the blessing on the wine. I take a tiny sip, and then I say, L'chaim. Why? I got to thank Hashem for the grape juice or the wine or the champagne first, before we bless everyone else, L'chaim to life. Better? No, not better. A little bit better. Okay.
This is
the one. Okay. I almost let this one out. I wasn't going to do it. And he says the reason, how do you give kabod to another person, honor to another person before Hashem? This is what he says. From here we learn also the yiratzon, the blessing to Hashem, and then you should say the yiratzon. Now, says the Knesset HaGedolah, however, I have an alternate argument that I might make against this. And what is the alternate argument? Really need to, by the way, remember when I always tell everyone, come to the Yechave daat shiur? If this is a halacha yomi, it would have been 3 lines, in and out. You wouldn't have any of the meat and potatoes and all the logic behind it. This is why you come to, no one's talking about l'chaims. You never heard about l'chaim, Shem ben Noach, Melchizedek, Yaakov. You don't hear all this stuff in halacha yomi. In the Yechave daat, when you get into it, you hear something else. What are we going to talk about now? Sneezing. This is what happens when you open the halakha. Sneezing. When someone sneezes, what do you say to the person? Gesundheit, labriut, haim tovim. What do we say in Syrian? Oh my gosh, how could I forget what we say? Te'ish, thank you. I got to go back to the East Coast. How did I forget Te'ish? Yeah, what do you say?
Vivas, which is Te'ish.
Is that Latino? Is that
that's
Latino?
live. You should live. Ta'ish
is there a response the person says? Does the sneezer have anything he says? The sneezer. By the way, sneezing is actually, you can find the source in the Gemara. Well, not now. We can't go into it now. But there is a source in the Gemara from the Gaon of Vilna, in one of the Gemaras, that you should respond, the Haim Tovim. There is a source that says the sneezer should respond something. The sneezer. What does he respond? Vishuatecha kiviti Hashem, which is what Yaakov responded to Hashem, right? Sneezing used to be the way of dying a long time ago. The neshama would leave, right? Because when you're sneezing, you're letting out air. Air is your neshama. He blew into his nostrils life. So when the life leaves the nostrils, that's no good. A long time ago, right? Sneezing used to be how the neshama would leave. And so therefore people have a custom, after they sneeze, they say, Hashem, I hope to you. I should be okay. But they also have a custom to answer the sneeze, answer the other people around the room who said, Hayim Tovim. You should answer them and say, Yosifu lachem shinot hayim. Hashem should bless you too with more years. What goes first? The Shu'at Kiviti Hashem, or to answer the people who blessed you first? This is what the Knesset does bring. He says, Shemit Atesh, someone who sneezes, ve'omrim lo hayim tovim, and they tell him hayim tovim, te'ish, labriut. First, Yashiv Tehillah Lahem Yosifu Lachem Shnot Hayim. First, he should answer the people and say, you should also have long life. And then say, Hashem, I hope to you. And so he's saying, I could maybe bring possibly a counter argument that I found an example of people going before Hashem, but he finishes and he says, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go like the first rabbi said and still say Hashem goes first before the people. I would answer, this is not written here, I would answer, Hashem is not a thanks to Hashem for sneezing. It's also a prayer to Hashem, I should be okay. That's what I would answer. You understand the difference? Yeah. It's not a drink of wine. I'm not thanking Hashem for the sneeze. I'm afraid that I sneeze, and so I'm praying that I should be okay. So to me, that's what I would answer. Okay. Let's finish up. Ume'ata says a Kamavadia. Gam binidoneno, so too in our case, Yesh la'agdim birkat hanin. First on Rosh Hashanah, first should be the blessing on the fruit. First. Ve'ahashit am me'at, after you take a taste of the fruit, yomad yihiratzon, then say the yihiratzon. Ve'ochal od, and then eat more. Take another bite after the yihiratzon. This is what Acham is saying. I'm getting a look. I know. So too said the Mama Mordechai, the Lev Haim, V'chen Pasak B'Sefer, Ben Ish Hai. So too said the Ben Ish Hai. He actually says this in Peshat Nitzavim. And he summarizes as follows. It's over. The halakha is over. He says, sorry, if it's not the answer you wanted. Lefikach, therefore, he says, Ho'il Mechlala Perot, Hamuva'im Al Shuhan B'Leil Rosh Hashanah Temarim, Shinishtabeh B'Hem Ha'arez, since part of the fruits that we do is a date, which is one of the fruits of Israel. Shneimad Eretz Hashem Udbash. Where's the same dates in that pasuk? This we know, right? Where's the same dates in the pasuk? Eretz Chitas Ora, Begefen Ut'ena V'Rimon. Eretz Zetshem Udbash. That's the pasuk. The vash is the honey is date honey, not bee honey. That's where dates are in the pasuk. You got me?
You can buy it at Cambridge. Silan. Silan.
Vehem Kodmin Librachat, huh? Which I've done downstairs twice in the past 3 years. Halachayim meet about this. How do you know which fruit goes first? How do you know which fruit goes first? I have the 7 fruits of Israel, all 7 in front of me. So tell me the order. English. Wheat. Oat. No. So that's barley.
Or barley.
Yeah.
Olive. Olive oil.
So this is the answer. It says twice in the pasuk Eretz. Eretz hitas ora begefen ut'ena v'rimon. Eretz zet shemen udvash. Whatever is closest to the word Eretz goes first, whether it's the second Eretz or the first Eretz. So really, in the order, the chronological order of the pasuk, zet shemen udvash are the last 2. Olives and dates, but they're actually 1 and 2 removed from the second word Eretz.
And they close to Eretz.
So they go bump up. So they're before the Imun. So eretz, chitas, ora, wheat and barley are the same as
olive and
olives and dates. They're both right after the word eretz. You know with me? And then we have gefen, te'ana, v'rimon. What's last place? Rimon is last place. Rimon is last place. Cool. Anyway, since the dates are first in the pasuk and first amongst the order, therefore the beracha should be on the dates. The beracha should be on the days. They go first. Is that how you pronounce it? Temara. Eat the date first. After you take a bite, and then eat the second day after the hiratzon. When you make the beracha on this date, have in mind that all the fruits on the table are covered with my beracha of ha'etz on the date. If you made shehayanu, if it's your first time, if it's the first time all year you're having a date, you make shehayanu, it's also poted all the shehayanus on the table. You only make one shehayanu on the fruit. Okay. He finishes up here and he says, I'm skipping the sources. Ulam al-kara, which is daat, verubia, shehemine yirakot mivoshalim, cooked vegetables inside of the hamotzi. If you had a sandwich, hamotzi, and then you have cooked vegetables, potatoes, whatever, you don't make beracha ha'adama. Hamotzi covers everything, right? But if you had hamotzi and then you had a grape, you have to make ha'et even after the hamotzi, right? Fruit are not considered part of a meal. Cooked vegetables are. In the barech alehem kelal be'emsa seudah le'ahar bekat hamotzi. So for the black-eyed peas, you're not going to make a beracha. We also have the spinach with the gourd. The Syrians have it's like also delicious. It's great with veal. That is also covered by the hamotzi. Now he says. Some people have the custom to do this whole seder before hamotzi. After kiddush, before hamotzi. So if that happens,
you have to say
before you wash your hands. So what do you do then? Then you gotta make ha'adama because you didn't have bread yet. Al harubia, make it on the rubia, and have it. And take a bite. One beracha covers everything. However, your ted nachon, it's even better. The barech, linhog, the barech al perot ha'ele le'ahar bekat hamotzi. The best time to do it is after bread. Yossi, the best time to do this whole seder is after the bread, not before the bread. Why? Because if you have a kazai of the lubia or of the fruit, maybe you have to make one nefashot and then make hamotzi. We're not sure, and so therefore he says it's better to just wash first, make ha'etz on the date, and everything's covered. Now Hashem yiparach, Hashem yihadesh alenu shana tova mituka tahil shana v'choteha. We should have a good year and all blessings. I don't know if we have a class next year. Next week, let's take a roll, yeah? If people want to have a class next week, we could do it. If not, it's Erev Rosh Hashanah.
With our chazan.
Okay.
Try to get the full crowd and the breakfast.
Okay.
Right afterwards.
Okay. So let's see what we're doing. I'm not going to prepare anything unless we know, yeah?
So if that's the case,